Veronica checking in with those weather conditions. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Veronica, I wish I could tell you that conditions would get better for us here on the Central Coast. I wish I could say that there was some rain in the forecast to help put some moisture in the soil and in the vegetation, but unfortunately, that's not the case right now. We're going to continue to see our fire season continue until really we start to see our winter rains. And anytime we get any offshore winds like we will later on this week, our fire danger is going to head up. Temperatures won't be as hot. That's the good news. Bad news is it's still going to be windy over the hills and it's still going to be very dry. In fact, we are tracking several rounds of these offshore winds. One earlier in the week, but will be affecting more the North Bay, north of the San Francisco Bay Area. But the one already with an alert out for it is the one coming on Wednesday and Thursday, perhaps into early Friday. So that does include the Santa Cruz Mountains and the Diablo Range in Santa Clara County. These locations now under a fire weather watch. And looking even farther into the future, I could see some potential for offshore winds Sunday into Monday as well, which could yield similar circumstances here. So we'll have to watch that also. But let's talk about these next several days. This is futurecast winds here, and where you see the redder colors, perhaps those are the higher winds. But I want you to watch the coastline right here. Northerly winds start to pick up tomorrow afternoon right over our northern mountains here. You can see the higher values showing up, and another burst comes in as we head into Wednesday morning coming out of the Bay Area. These are northerly winds. They're very dry typically. These are the offshore winds that we talk about when we see these fire situations. They'll wind down a little bit as we head into Wednesday afternoon, but another one possible Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So several little rounds of these offshore winds possible. We'll get the winds blowing over the ridge tops. We'll get the conditions very dry. And again, any fires that do start could spread rapidly during these periods. Now, as we look at our temperatures today, it is certainly much cooler than we saw maybe at the end of last week where we were in the 90s. In fact, Salinas hit a record high of 99 last week. Unbelievable. Right now it is 61 degrees. You definitely need some warmer clothing out there. 58 in Monterey right now. It is 74 in Boulder Creek and 75 in King City. So a little bit warmer inland, but certainly chilly near the coast, and visibility dropping as well. Some of this fog continues to push on shore. So watch out if you're driving out there tonight. Another night of dense fog possible, mostly right near the coast and perhaps into the lower Salinas Valley. So that'll probably be with us as we wake up tomorrow morning as well. Patchy fog around the bay, but tomorrow afternoon will be sunnier across the Monterey Bay area as our winds begin to shift offshore. That's going to push some drier air into the atmosphere and knock down a lot of those clouds and keep a lot more sunshine in the forecast. Temperatures won't warm all that much. We're going to be pretty close to what we saw today, but still pretty toasty up in the mountains with 80s and 90s there in the San Lorenzo Valley. We'll stay in the 60s and 70s down along the coast there in Santa Cruz County with 73 in Santa Cruz. Both Watsonville and Salinas in the mid 70s tomorrow, staying in the 80s almost to 90 though in our northern inland valleys. 60s back on the east shore of the bay and over to Monterey, highs in the 60s as well tomorrow. And it'll be another cooler day in Seaside with your high of 68. Farther south will be a mild day in the Carmel Valley, even warm, 81 degrees with 88 tomorrow in King City and Soledad tomorrow, 83. So as we look over the next 7 days, temperatures aren't going to move too much on the coast over the next several. In fact, they might get a little bit warmer with the offshore winds Thursday, Friday, with highs around 70, which is still pretty seasonable, about where we should be for this time of year. But a colder air mass will come in this weekend. It will be very dry though, so we'll be in the 60s. And as I mentioned, more offshore winds possible Sunday into Monday. That's going to increase our fire danger again, I suspect. Inland areas warm for this time of year for the next couple of days, but highs back to normal on Thursday, and then below normal as that cool, dry air mass comes into place. While it seems cool out there, keep in mind that, some of the worst fires that they saw in the wine country over the last couple of years were in October and November when it was cold but very dry.